Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is video 3 of our data analytics journey. Before we start, hit the subscribe button and become a part of our YouTube family. We both kept our promise. I uploaded the videos consistently and together we achieved our target of 10 new subscribers. Thank you so much for your love and support. Today's video is one of the most important in this series because these concepts are frequently asked in interviews and college exams. So make sure you watch till the end. Our next target is 15 new subscribers. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get started.
Let's explore our agenda today. We will begin with the basics of data, looking at both qualitative and becomes information, and finally, extract powerful insights. Let's dive right into the data.
Let's start this video by understanding what exactly is data. So, data is a collection of raw facts, figures, or observations that haven't been processed yet. Think of it as the starting point of every analysis. For example, student names, daily temperature readings, UPI transactions, Amazon product reviews, employee salaries, and mobile numbers are all forms of data. If I just show you a list of mobile numbers or salaries, they don't tell you much, they're just raw values. But once we organize, process, and analyze them, they start making sense and become meaningful information. And that's exactly where data analytics begins. So, always remember this simple idea: data is the raw material, and information is the finished product created from it. Now that we understand what data is, let's look at its different types. Data doesn't always come in the same form, so to make it easier to understand and analyze, we classify it into different categories. Broadly, data is divided into two main types: qualitative data and quantitative data. These two categories are further divided into four subtypes: nominal, ordinal, discrete, and continuous data. At this stage, you don't need to memorize these names. In the next few slides, we'll understand each type one by one with simple examples, so the concepts become crystal clear. Once you understand the type of data, analyzing it becomes much easier. The first type of data is qualitative data, also called categorical data. Qualitative data describes qualities, labels, or categories rather than numbers. It is non-numeric and is mainly used for grouping or classification. Since it represents characteristics instead of quantities, it cannot be added or averaged. For example, blood groups like A+ or O+, cities like Hyderabad or Delhi, food preferences such as veg, non-veg, or vegan, and mobile brands like Samsung, Apple, or Vivo are all examples of qualitative data. Nominal data. Nominal data consists of categories or labels with no natural order or ranking. In other words, you can group and count these values, but you cannot rank them or say one is higher or lower than another. Common examples include gender, payment methods, food categories, and blood groups. These are simply names or labels used for classification. That's why, for nominal data, we can calculate only the frequency or count of each category. A simple trick to remember is nominal means name only. If it's just a label with no order, it's nominal data. Ordinal data. Ordinal data consists of categories that have a natural order or ranking. Unlike nominal data, these values can be arranged in a sequence. However, the difference between the ranks cannot be measured. That's why arithmetic operations like addition or averaging are not meaningful. Common examples include customer ratings, satisfaction levels from poor to excellent, education levels from school to postgraduate, and t-shirt sizes from small to XL. A simple trick to remember is ordinal means order exists. If the categories have a meaningful order or ranking, it's ordinal data. Now let's understand quantitative data, also known as numerical data. As the name suggests, this type of data represents measurable values and allows mathematical calculations. Since these are numeric values, they can be counted or measured, and arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are possible. That's why quantitative data is widely used for statistical analysis. Common examples include age, salary, height, height, distance, and the number of orders. In short, whenever you see data that can be measured or calculated using numbers, it is quantitative data. Discrete data. Discrete data represents values that can be counted. Since we're counting individual items, only whole numbers are possible, decimal values are not. In simple words, discrete data answers the question, how many? For example, the number of family members, items ordered, wickets taken, number of cars, or app downloads. Think about it, you can have 2 children, but you can't have 2.5 children. That's why discrete data is always countable and consists of whole numbers only. A simple trick to remember is, discrete means countable and whole numbers. Finally, let's understand continuous data. Continuous data represents measurable values and, unlike discrete data, it can include decimal values or fractions. In simple words, continuous data answers the question, how much? Common examples include weight, height, temperature, delivery time, and rainfall because these values are measured, not counted. For instance, a person's weight can be 67.4 kilograms, or the temperature can be 36.8 degrees Celsius. So, whenever decimal values are possible, the data is continuous. A simple trick to remember is continuous means measurable and decimal values are allowed. Now here's a common mistake that many beginners make. Just because something is a number, it doesn't mean it's quantitative data. This is called the number trap. Numbers like PIN codes, phone numbers, odd are numbers, and jersey numbers are only labels or identifiers. They are not measurable values. Think about it, can you calculate the average of phone numbers? Of course not. That's because these numbers are used only to identify something, not to measure it. Therefore, they are actually qualitative data, specifically nominal data, not quantitative data, so always remember, numbers can be misleading. Before classifying any data, always understand its context. What is information? Information is simply processed, organized, and meaningful data. When raw data is analyzed and given the right context, it becomes information. Unlike raw data, information answers important questions, helps us identify patterns, and provides useful insights. That's why information is not just meaningful, but also accurate, relevant, and useful for a specific purpose. Whether it's a business, a hospital, or even our daily life, information helps us make better and more informed decisions. In simple words, data is the input and information is the meaningful output. Let's see how raw data is converted into meaningful information. It all starts with raw data, which contains unorganized facts and records collected from different sources. Next comes data cleaning, where duplicate records are removed, missing values are handled, and errors are corrected. After that, the data is processed using operations like sorting, filtering, grouping, and calculations. Once the data is ready, we analyze it to identify trends, patterns, comparisons, and key performance indicators. Finally, the results are presented as information through charts, reports, or dashboards. In this example, raw sales entries are transformed into insights like total sales, the best-selling product, and average sales. Remember, better information leads to better decisions, and better decisions lead to better results. What insights are? Insights are meaningful conclusions drawn from information. They don't just tell us what happened, they explain why it happened and what action should be taken. That's why insights turn information into actionable understanding and help us make better decisions. For example, if sales increased by 20%, that's information. But if we conclude that the festive campaign was successful and should be continued, that's an insight. Similarly, if customers aged 18 to 25 buy more products, we can target them with more offers. So always remember this simple difference. Information tells you what happened, whereas insights tell you why it happened and what to do next. The key difference between data, information, and insights lies in their purpose and value. Data is the raw collection of facts. For example, marks like 85, 72, and 91. On its own, data has little meaning. When this data is processed, organized, organized and summarized, it becomes information. For example, saying the average marks of the class are 82 gives the data meaning and context. Insights go one step further. They explain why something happened and what action should be taken. For example, if students who study for more than 3 hours consistently score above 85, that becomes an insight because it helps us make better decisions. In simple terms, data tells us what happened. Information tells us what it means. Insights explain why it happened and what to do next. And this is the true goal of data analytics, transforming raw data into meaningful information and actionable insights that drive better decisions. Thank you for watching till the end. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Share it with the one who wants to become a data analyst. Also, don't forget to watch the first 2 videos. Links are in the description. See you in the next lecture.